Hi there, my name's Simon from CramTheExam and welcome to another video where I walk you through another English exam question. In this video we're going to have a look at the FCE first listening paper. This is question 2, the sentence completion. And this question you can find on the excellent website virtual.com, which is full of resources to help you get ready for your FCE and full of exam questions as well. So I really recommend you check it out. For the purposes of this video, I've put everything onto Word documents, which makes it a little bit easier for me to go through the text and to highlight what the answers are. So you won't see the website on this video, but you'll see a link to the website and to this exercise in the video description below this video. Okay, let's go through a few basics just to remind you what how to do or what not to do really for the sentence completion task. First of all, how many words can you write? You can write between 1 to 3 words in the gap. Any more than 3 words is marked as being incorrect. Now there is an exception to this, as we'll see in this exercise, as regards numbers, because some numbers if you can just write in the digits if you want to, but if you want to write out the number then you're going to go past 3 words. So in the case of numbers that's okay. And you can make very small spelling mistakes. As long as it's clear the examiner knows what it is that you were trying to say, spelling mistakes are okay, small ones, and of course you can use British or American English in your spelling. Okay, let's go through the answers and find out why they are the answers. So, to achieve his record, Michael had to sail a total of something kilometres without any help. So, as you're reading the questions before you're doing the listening, you're highlighting important vocabulary to help you focus. It says kilometres here. Kilometres is a distance. So we know for the answer we're gonna get a number. In fact, this is our answer, 5,600. So when we're doing the listening, we're listening for a number, because we're talking about distance. So if we have a look at the answer, it says Michael set off from Gibraltar on a 5,600 kilometre voyage, which took 47 days. There we go. So, and that links to the idea of, to achieve his record, Michael had to sail a total of so many kilometres without any help. And of course we've got a vocabulary link to without any help, because it says to sail across the Atlantic alone. For question number 10, Michael helped to design his boat, which was called Cheeky Monkey. So we've got vocabulary here: design, boat, called. So we know that there's going to be a name of some kind, and we can get that in the listening, where it says Michael helped with the design, here's a straightforward vocabulary linked, of his new 9-metre yacht. Yacht is a type of boat. There's another vocabulary link which was built for them and to which Michael gave the name, in other words what Michael called the boat, Cheeky Monkey, which is why the answer is Cheeky Monkey. Michael and his father were concerned in case any, in this case, large or big ships came too close to them. Why is it large or big ships? Well, in terms of highlighting vocabulary, we've got to look for something that they were both thinking about, not just thinking about, that they were worried about. And that we're looking at something vocabulary which suggests being too close. So we might be listening for some synonyms of close in this case. And we can see this here in this next paragraph where they're talking, and it says Michael's father sailed alongside his son in his boat to make sure that he was okay. So we know that they're together, although in different boats. They worked different shifts. One of them had to be on watch. In other words, one of them had to be looking out in case large ships came too near to them. So the answer, where we can find the answer, is almost word for word what's written in the exam, in the sentence that we have to complete. So we have to pay attention to the vocabulary in the sentence. All the food that Michael took on his voyage was in something bought at the supermarket. So first of all, we know that we've got to focus on food. supermarket, and something on his voyage. So straight away, just reading the question, we can think of the context where we're talking about food, buying food, food suitable for the voyage, that kind of thing, and was in something. So if you are really on the ball, you'll know that you'll be listening out for a container of some kind. So if we have a look at the listening text, it says, he says he and his father filled 2 supermarket trolleys. Supermarket trolleys, links to supermarket. Things like sausages, spaghettis and stew. So this is all food, of course, which links to food here, which could easily be heated in a pan. Everything had to be in tins. So here we've got a direct vocabulary link, in tins, in tins. And that's why the answer is the answer. The type of food which Michael missed most on the trip was what? And we get that vocabulary link straight away. So what did Michael miss most? So what did Michael miss most? Well, in fact, the question gives us a clue, because we know that it's a food that he missed most. Here, in the listening, it doesn't say food straight away. He says that he missed human contact, having a face-to-face conversation. He got used to his limited food supply, but says what he really longed for is a synonym for missing most, was hot toast. And that's why the answer is hot toast. Michael enjoyed using his what to keep track of what his father was doing. The listening goes on to say, when asked how he communicated with his father, Michael explained that it was all done by radio, though for Michael, nothing compared with the pleasure of following his father's progress through his binoculars. And we've got here, following his father's progress links to what his father was doing, or keeping track of what his father was doing, because progress relates to keeping track of something. And so we also, if we look at the question, we know that we're going to need a noun of some kind, a thing. So even before we do the listening, we might get an idea, given the context, of what this thing might be. So 2 boats out at sea, what do you use to keep track of what your father was doing? You might already be thinking something along the lines of binoculars. For question 15, it says, Michael's favourite pastimes on the boat were using his sister's something and reading. So favourite pastimes, favourite things to do. And we know that one of these things is reading, so we're listening out for that clue. I asked Michael how he entertained himself on the boat. He told me he'd taken his guitar with him, but it had stayed in its case throughout the trip. He couldn't play because the boat was rolling about. Very nice, but completely irrelevant. He loved to read. So love to read, love to do something relates to favourite pastimes. He loved to read, and of course, read connects to this. And he also had an iPod that his sister lent him. So we had another thing here, which is what we need for our answer. So for question number 16, Michael got a fright when a something landed on him. So straight away, we know it's going to be a noun of some kind because we've got an article here. So we're listening out for a thing. Vocabulary links, fright. Fright relates to being scared. So we're then listening out for that context, and something landed on him. So we're listening perhaps for vocabulary of something hitting him or something along those lines. And if we have a look at the text, it says here, the one event that really shook him, in other words, which gave him a fright, was when a flying fish jumped into the boat and hit him on the shoulder. So landed on him connects to hit him on the shoulder, and of course we've got our answer here, which is flying fish. For question 17, it says the name of the charity that Michael is raising funds for is something. So once again, we're listening for a discussion about charities, raising funds, in other words, raising money. And we also know that we're listening out for a name of some kind, in this case, the name of the charity. So if we have a look at the listening text, it says here, and a remarkable thing about the trip is that he raised thousands of pounds, in other words, raising funds. For the charity, direct link here from charity. Charity is also mentioned in the question. Known as Children in Need. So lots of vocabulary links which introduce the answer. When Michael sails around the world, he plans to take something with him in case he feels homesick. So once again, we know we're listening out for another noun of some kind. And we also know that the conversation has changed. We're not talking about the Atlantic, we're talking about going round the world, and of course being homesick, missing home. So the last bit of the listening says, Michael says, right at the end, Michael says next time, well, first of all, if we go to the beginning, the idea of sailing around the world is introduced. It's quite likely that Michael's next challenge will be to sail non-stop around the world, which links to this part here. And then it says that his father will travel with him. And then it says, Michael says, next time he'll remember to pack some photos to remember friends and family if he feels lonely, and it's this part about feeling lonely that connects to feeling homesick. And of course, what will he bring? He'll pack some photos. So you can so the answer here, if you pack some photos, it means that you're taking photographs. And of course, the answer allows you to write photos or photographs. Both answers would be seen as correct. And there we go. That's why the answers are the answers. So if you managed to get all of the answers correct, well done you. If you didn't get the answers, all of the answers correct, well, hopefully this walkthrough will help you understand why. If you've got any questions about anything that I've said, or I've been speaking too quickly, or you didn't quite follow what I was saying, please let me know below. And if you disagree with anything that I've said, of course, please feel free to leave a comment as well. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you again soon.